Hello everyone, how's it going? Welcome to another patch notes rundown. Today we've got patch notes 2.1b, which means there's one more week until patch 2.2, which should be next Monday, hopefully, unless they delay it again. I thought this was going to come out at 3 PM UK time, but it actually came out at 2 PM UK time because of America times and all that sort of stuff. So I will be bringing out another video today of a guide for Malphite, but in that video I'll say that I'm bringing out another video for patch notes, so just ignore that part basically. Anyway, let's get straight into it. As always, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We're doing more patch notes rundowns, more champion guides, and a lot more on this channel, so I appreciate all your support, and let's head straight into it. The TARGON aspect, Descent from the Heaven this patch, bringing nerfs to Aurelian Soul, the Conqueror rune, and backdooring. Awesome. Item Heaven is the final major balance and content patch for 2.1 is here. Just enjoy the mercies of Targons, Leona, Diane, and Pantheon, which we knew about already. Explore the stories in a Path of Ascension event. Pick up some fun rewards along the way. Finally, we'll be taking a swing into a couple of powerful mid laners and nerfing backdooring victories. Now we're starting to see organised competitive teams that make frequent use of the strategy. One thing, we're keeping an eye on Katarina's initial low win rate, but we want to make sure players are adapting to her playstyle and controls before making any changes. Oh, okay. So Katarina was, I guess, originally going to get a buff, but they changed their mind, I'm guessing. Pretty interesting. Leona, obviously, new champion, new support coming in. She looks pretty damn awesome. I think she'll probably be the most powerful out of the three. Leona will be released later this patch. Diana, mid laner, can probably get played in like the jungle and top lane as well. I don't think she'll be that strong. Pantheon, another champion that can pretty much play anywhere. Top, mid, jungle, support, pretty much played anywhere, which is going to be pretty interesting for Pantheon. So I think he'll be pretty strong as well. He's a very strong early game champion. New skins come in. Barbecue Leona, Dark Valkyrie Diana, Full Metal Pantheon, Dragon Slayer Pantheon, Infernal Diana, and then all the project skins. So again, Ash Leona, Vi, Yasuo, and Zed, which is awesome. The Project Leona skin is absolutely amazing, so that's pretty awesome. We got the event, the TARGON event. I did not mean to click that picture. Whoops. We got the TARGON event, which is coming out soon, I'm guessing. The event begins later in this patch, so I'm guessing that's when the champions are going to come out. Right, now on to the important stuff, the champions. Aurelian Soul. Aurelian Soul's passive star base damage is going down at every level, it seems. Oh, okay, so in the late game, so when you reach level 15, 14, 13, it seems like it hasn't gone down that much. So it's mainly hitting the early game damage, it seems like. But the later the game goes, the more damage he will do, it seems like. So hitting Aurelian Soul a little bit in the early game with the passive, which is interesting. Seems like the same with his second ability, which allows his stars to get bigger and obviously do more damage. Seems like they're hitting the early game a little bit again, and then slowly as it goes into the late game, it does more and more damage. So once you hit level 13, 14, 15 again, and that's when the damage will be increased. So kind of making Aurelian Soul a bit weaker in the early game, which is fair enough. I mean, Aurelian Soul was pushing down mid lane waves so quickly at level 1, it was ridiculous, and doing quite a lot of damage. So that's a pretty nice change. Ultimate cooldown as well. The first level of the ultimate cooldown is going up by quite a bit, by 15 seconds, which is a pretty big nerf. And 10 seconds at level 2, and then 5 seconds at level 3. So making an ultimate on a big, massive cooldown early is pretty huge. You kind of have to make sure that you know when you want to use your ultimate in the early game and kind of not, I guess, waste it. So that's a nice change. Soraka. Soraka's base heal is going up by a little bit per rank, staying the same at level 1, level 2 going up by 10, level 3 going up by 20, and level 4 going up by 30, which is quite nice. And the cooldown is going down a little bit on the third ability, which is like the AoE silence that she has. It's going down by 2 seconds at every rank. Do I think this will be enough for her to be back in the meta? Well, to her to be in the meta full stop? Probably not. The base heal is not that much of a big deal, if I'm totally honest with you. Nothing really changed with that. And the AoE silence cooldown going down is a nice thing. You can use your silencer more, but in my opinion, there's just a lot of enchanters that do a lot more things than what Soraka does, because once Soraka gets focused, she can't really do much. She's kind of like stuck. She can't really do anything. Whereas if you're a Janna, if you're a Lulu, you know, any other enchanters like Sona, you have kind of the AoE abilities, or you have spells that can kind of keep yourself alive or keep your teammates alive. Whereas Soraka kind of gets healed, but as I said, when she gets focused down, she kind of struggles. Tristana, interesting. Tristana changes. Base stats, base mana per level going up by a little bit. So at level 15 instead of 762, it's gonna be 874. Okay, and then slow duration of rockets going up by 0.5 every rank. I don't think this will be this. It's very, very small changes to Tristana. Very, very small changes. As I said before with Tristana, she's kind of hard to play, and she kind of really struggles in the early game. She doesn't really have anything. When she gets into like the late game, like Vayne and Tristana are the two probably best late game champions, but it's just getting to that late game which is the problem. Base mana per level is nice, I guess, so she can keep spamming spells more. The rocket jump, most of the time you don't really want to jump onto champions, and it's kind of hard to aim as well, the rocket jump, to kind of jump on champions, especially with the amount of CC and the crowd control that's out there at the moment. If you're jumping into enemies, especially onto them as well to get that slow duration, not really as impactful. So it might boost her up a little bit, but I don't think it'll be enough for Tristana, unfortunately. Yasuo. Wow, we're actually getting Yasuo nerfs. Holy moly. Base armor going down by 5. Base health going down by a lot. Holy moly. 80 base health down. That is a lot. So you can probably poke a lot more with Yasuo. I think the main thing with Yasuo is that he was getting his shield so much. It was ridiculous. And obviously with the Blade of Rune King buffs as well to him for the melee champions was kind of crazy. And the dash speed now of the third ability has gone down by quite a lot as well. So it's now been cut by 300 dash speed, obviously plus movement speed. So now it's only 900 plus movement speed. This is a pretty big Yasuo changes, to be fair. The base health in the early game allows champions to kind of be a bit more aggressive on him and go in a bit more. And this dash speed allows you to kind of react a bit more and not allow Yasuo to dash around all over the place and do a bunch of stuff. So pretty nice changes, to be fair. Pretty nice changes. And thank God as well, because I hated Yasuo in all my games. So thank God that he's going to get he's going to get nerfed. Right, ziggs. What are we going with ziggs? Tower destroy threshold 25, 30, 35, 40, 20, 25, 30. So they're nerfing a little bit of the tower destroy. So this is more of a competitive play thing, I think. This might be more of a competitive play because there has been a lot of ziggs in competitive play, especially in the Icon series at the moment. People realizing that you can take towers really, really quickly with your second ability, Satchel Charge. If you put that ability near to turrets, you can basically execute the turrets and it's really, really easy to take down. So they're nerfing that a little bit, but they're also buffing the radius of the Mega Inferno bombs. So it's kind of like an adjustment. So buffing the ultimate, but also nerfing the Satchel Charge on the turret. So I mean, I haven't tried ziggs at the moment. I see that ziggs gets played a little bit in like the AP carry role in the bot lane, so I might give it a try and see how he does. But pretty interesting changes. Locket enchant. Wow, we got the items now. Here we go. Locket enchant's going up by 300 gold, and the shield the shield is going down by quite a lot. So this is for like supports who always rush Locket enchant, which is, well, pretty much everyone at the moment. Every support just rushes Locket enchant first item. So the price has gone up by 300, so you'll be getting this a lot later on. You won't be getting this super early game. And they also nerfed the early game shield by a lot. So in the later game, it will be the same, 420. But now instead of doing... So now, so it goes up by... Oh, so that's the that's the base, I'm guessing. Yeah, that's the base. So the base shield was 120 plus your level times 20. I'm guessing that's supposed to be what it is. But now it's only 45, which is the base. So the base has gone from 120 to 45 now, which is kind of crazy. I'm not going to lie. So in the later stages, Locket will still be good as you level up. But in the early game, you can see that the shield has gone from 140 to 70, which is crazy, to be fair. Yeah, we'll see how that does. Conqueror, interesting. After evaluating more usage data, we found that Conqueror is hyper overperforming. I mean, it's kind of obvious. Rage AP champions when compared to other choices. Okay. AP per stack 4 to 12 based on champion levels, now gone to 3 to 9. Interesting, based on champion level. Maximum stack adapted damage bonus, 10% on ranged champions, 7% of ranged champions. So it's a little bit of a nerf to the ADCs as well, if they're going to do the adapted damage has gone down by 3% on ranged champions. So a little bit of a nerf to ADCs, but more of a nerf to AP mid laners because of the stacks have gone down as well. So pretty interesting. I think Conqueror is still probably the better option. We'll have to see. Maybe Fleet comes into play, but I highly doubt it. Conqueror is still a really, really good rune to use on AD champions. Backdoor bonus. I think this is to do with competitive. Yeah, late door backdoor is coming too easy. Remove the mechanic where the turret defenses backdoor bonus lessens in late game. So backdoor bonus. Combo damage reduction was 66% and then 33% at 18 minutes, so after 18 minutes. But now it's 66% throughout the whole game. Cool. That's pretty awesome. More for, like I said, more for competitive play. We've seen all around the notice lane swaps in 2.1. Again, another competitive change, which is pretty interesting. So during the first 3 minutes, all outer towers gain... Oh, this is... Oh, so this is before. Okay, so these are before, and then these are the after changes. Okay. Cool. So during the first 3 minutes, all outer turrets gain 50 bonus armor and magic resist. Turrets gain additional defensive bonuses when multiple enemies are nearby, which is fine. 3 champions, 4 champions, 5 champions. So now they've changed it. So during the first 3 minutes, solo barrel lane, outer turrets gain 90 bonus armor and magic resist. Mid lane now has 90 bonus on armored bonus armor and magic resist. But the dual lane has actually gone down. Wait. All turrets gain 50 bonus. Yeah, so the dual lane's actually gone down. What? So it's actually easier to take down bot lane tower now. And they've also done it during the first 3 minutes. Turrets gain additional defense bonuses when multiple enemies are nearby. 2 champions in total. Oh, okay. I get it. So this has gone down, so from 50 to 40, but they've also added a 2 champions in total. So if 2 champions are near the turret taking it, then it gains a bonus 10, which then goes back up to the 10 to the 50. So if you're an ADC and if you're taking the tower solo, and if your support is not nearby, then it only has 40 bonus armor magic resist. But if your support's nearby, then it gets then there's 10. Only like you get like a bonus 10 armor magic resist. But then this is the big change. If 3 champions are nearby, it gains 100 armor magic resist. 4 champions is 200 and 5 champions is 300. Wow. So basically competitive, what happened was lane swaps was a thing, and basically there was 3 or 4 champions at one tower, and they could just burst down the tower immediately, like no question about it. But now it's going to be really, really difficult because of this whole, you know, if 4 champions are next to a tower, the tower's going to gain 200 armor and magic resist, which it will take them a lot longer to take down, which is kind of crazy. Obviously 5 champions as well, so it kind of stops lane swaps, but at the same time it's kind of interesting for solo queue as well, because sometimes you see tower dives, and sometimes even 3 champions as well attack the same tower, which is going to be less impactful now, which is quite interesting. But for duo lane, for bot lane, nothing's really changed unless you're taking the tower by yourself. Then it will go from 50 to 40. But if there's 2 champions nearby, so if there's ADC and the support, it will still be 50. So nothing really changes the bot lane, but the big changes to the top and mid lane for sure. This also does, I'm just thinking now, this is also another thing about, it's going to be so much harder now to trade tower for dragons early game, thinking about it. It's going to be really hard for a top, you're pretty much going to have to rotate to dragon every single time now, because it's going to be so much harder for a solo laner, especially in the early game, like at first Drake, to be able to take the tower by the time that the dragon finishes, which is going to be quite tough, to be fair. Yeah, this kind of pulls more towards the fact that solo laners should rotate towards dragon, and also solo laners shouldn't really be pushing down their towers, because it's going to take them pretty much double the time because of the armor I mean, it gains 40 bonus armor and magic resist now compared to 50 before. So, kind of crazy. But yeah, pretty interesting indeed. Chat detection rollout improve chat valuation is ramping up in capture detected languages. Okay, cool. That's something about, I'm guessing, different languages and everything in game. Cool, that's it for the patch notes. Not a big patch notes. Surprised Orianna didn't get nerfed, but I guess got kind of nerfed with Conqueror. These changes to towers are going to be very, very interesting. Again, it's the whole thing with like solo Baron laners and everything like that as well. They're going to have to rotate to dragons. Conqueror Rune again got a little bit of nerf on AD champions. Backdoor bonus, which is pretty nice. Locket is going to be a huge thing as well. Locket enchant's going to be a huge, huge thing for supports. Is it still worth the rush? Is it worth rushing something else? Maybe you might see Redemption Rush in bot lane now, maybe. You might see Redemption Rush. Might be a thing. Yeah, and some nice changes overall, to be honest. Some nice buffs, some nice nerfs. Nothing too big, but obviously the main things are the 3 new champions, Pantheon, Dinah, and Leona, which I'll make sure I do guides on as soon as they come out. Anyway, that is it for today's patch notes. Thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate it. Be sure to subscribe to the channel for more. I'll be streaming later on tonight, so make sure you stay tuned for that. As always, take care. Peace.